Hi everyone, and greetings on this Thursday. As always, we're blessed and privileged to have you being a part of our show. This time around on a Thursday, which is also the 8th day of March. Another wintry day in the neighborhood. And on that note, by the way, more winter weather throughout your forecast to the tune of maybe an inch or two tomorrow night of accumulating snowfall, that is. We've got a lot happening in our updated weather forecast, and most all of it indeed winter related. Sadly, one of tonight's top headlines will be the death of a McGoffin County man who was thrown from his truck late last night or early this morning and discovered hours later beneath that vehicle. I'll take you to the scene. We also have his identity, which has just been released in the past few hours per the completion of the notification next of kin process. And I'll tell you everything we can. We'll speak with some a fireman who was on the scene, and we'll find out exactly what they encountered, and we'll tell you all the details that we can share at this hour. Several arrests that have taken place and made a busy past 24 hours for local authorities. An announcement from Sundy Best that might not come as that great of a surprise to a lot of fans, because I think it's kind of been out there before, but they stuck together until now. But nevertheless, we'll talk about them as well, and a host of other news and information, a bunch of birthdays too, and a lot of announcements on our calendar. But before we go anywhere else news-wise tonight on the show, an announcement from our Kentucky Attorney General, which I do not think comes as a surprise to anyone, per the 3 previous lawsuits that he's filed in this manner. But in this 4th opioid lawsuit, Attorney General Beshear is suing AmerisourceBergen for allegedly supplying dangerous levels of prescription painkillers to Kentucky. He says that by filing this suit today against the national opioid distributor AmerisourceBergen, he now seeks to hold a group of distributors responsible for supplying 85% of the opioids in Kentucky. The lawsuit alleges unfair, misleading, and deceptive business practice for excessively distributing opioids in Kentucky and for failing to legally report suspiciously large volumes of these drugs to state and federal authorities. Beshear says that actions by the Pennsylvania-based company, who is presumed to supply nearly 32% of opioids in the state, played a major role in fueling Kentucky's opioid epidemic. Recent lawsuits that I've covered, of course, by Beshear have made similar claims against other distributors: the Ohio-based Cardinal Health Company, San Francisco-based McKesson Corporation. Cardinal supplies about 20.7% of the pharmaceuticals nationally. McKesson about 32.7%. Together, the 3 companies control 85% of the prescription drug market in the country. That market includes the supply of opioids into the Commonwealth of Kentucky. He says that we have to stop these large supplies of opioids fueling addiction in so many communities. And one way to do that is to continue to drag these billion-dollar opioid distributors into court to seek damages for their irresponsible actions. In the first quarter of the fiscal year, for this fiscal year, mind you, AmerisourceBergen announced its revenue at $40.5 billion, and that revenue was up over 6% compared to the same quarter from the year before, reflecting a 5.8% increase in its pharmaceutical distribution services revenue. Beshear says that the company's hold on the market created dangerous levels of opioids in Kentucky communities across the state, and of course that will certainly filter down to ours. And there are a few Kentucky counties which he cites as examples. I'll just mention a couple of them. But from January of 2010 through December of 2016, pharmacies in Bell County filled prescriptions for over 30 million doses. One county, over 30 million doses of opioids. With a 31% stake in the market, AmerisourceBergen would have contributed to about 9.5 million of those, or 340 for every man, woman, and child in that county. Now, during the same time in Clay County, 25.5 million doses. And in Floyd County, pharmacies filled a total of 56,375,000 doses of opioids, with AmerisourceBergen contributing over 17, nearly 18 million of those doses. That breaks down to just this one company to 461 pills for every single human being in Floyd County. 461. From 2012 to 2016, Bell County had 81 overdose deaths. Floyd County had 89. According to the lawsuit, AmerisourceBergen paid civil penalties and entered into a compliance memorandum of agreement with the government in 2007 for its role in its internet pharmacies. Beshear's lawsuit against the company is one of many that's been filed across our nation. West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrissey recently settled a lawsuit with them for $16 million, and the list indeed goes on. We'll keep you up to date. None of that worth the deaths that have resulted. I will be right back. Sadly, a fatal auto accident in McGoffin County early this morning, detected early this morning. It happened late last night. I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Bill Mead, and I've dedicated over half of my life to law enforcement and protecting my community and family. In my 29 years of service, I've received several federal accommodations for my part in major drug cases. I have 17 years experience in narcotics investigations. 10 of those years as a sergeant with the Kentucky State Police Drug Enforcement Special Investigations East Unit. I've received the highest level of training in criminal investigations, and I know exactly what it takes to successfully see a criminal case through the state and federal court systems. As your McGoffin County Sheriff, I will review every investigation and ensure that you're treated with respect and dignity. My name is William Bill Mead, number 3 on the ballot, but number 1 for McGoffin County. Thank you.
Hello, McGoffin County. Matthew Wireman again, asking for your vote and support in the May primary for county judge. Living in McGoffin is tough. We know that, and so does everyone else. In fact, an article in the New York Times lists McGoffin County as one of the 10 hardest places to live in America. Folks, we know McGoffin County can do better than that. I want McGoffin County to prosper. I want to see opportunities for our people to work here at home. I want to see opportunities for our children to lead successful lives right here in McGoffin County. I want to see our local government operate as efficiently as possible so we can lower the county's taxes. I learned real quick that the office of magistrate didn't have any real power or influence. It doesn't open any doors in Frankfort, and it doesn't open the eyes of potential businesses. The key to opportunity, the key to prosperity for McGoffin County is the office of County Judge Executive. Elect me, Matthew Charmer Wireman, as your County Judge Executive, and together we will unlock McGoffin County's potential and show the world that McGoffin County is a great place to live, work, and raise our kids. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Attorney Jeff Lovely. At my law office, we're determined to offer you and your family outstanding, cost-effective, and responsive legal services. I can help you if you've been injured in a car wreck. I'll be in your corner if you have a DUI or other criminal charges. You can file bankruptcy and stop those harassing phone calls, or I'll fight for you and your children in divorce and custody cases. For all your legal services, contact me when it matters. In Syersville at 349-4522 and West Liberty at 743-1965.
Hey everyone, my name's Tom Sager. I'm at Pop Chevrolet in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. Please take advantage of the new weekly specials.
Like this 2016 Dodge Dart SXT, $159 a month. This 2015 Chevy Malibu LT, only $209 a month. This 2015 Ford Escape Titanium, that's top of the line, $219 a month. Or save almost 10 grand on this brand new 2018 Silverado for $37,930.
Thank you and stop in.
Conley's does oil and fluid changes, brakes, suspension, wheel alignments, and more. They've got thousands of tires in stock every day, and they won't be undersold on any tire they sell. They've got 6 months same as cash and over 37 years of service to the viewing area. With no appointment necessary, or you can call 297-2424. Your single largest investment in life is most always your home. And whether they're necessary or optional, a weekend project or a major renovation, we can help finance your home improvements and make your vision a reality. Spring is almost here, so it's time to get ready, get set, and improve with Sagersville National Bank. Call or drop by the main or branch locations today. A fatal auto accident involving a pickup truck earlier this morning. A McGoffin County man was thrown from his pickup and went unnoticed in the darkness and below street level, if you will, for hours until daylight this morning. It happened on Route 404, less than a mile from the junction of 404 and Route 7. For EMS and law enforcement, it started with an 8:30 call to 911 about a truck in the creek, the windshield busted, and unknown injuries on Route 404 in the southern part of McGoffin County. Jay Hanshoe of the South McGoffin Volunteer Fire Department tells me in this interview that a resident spotted the truck this morning and called 911.
She just seen all kinds of garbage in her yard. She come out to pick it up, and then some was in the road. She's going to rake it out of the road and sit in the truck over in there.
However, upon arrival of Handshoe and other members of the South Magoffin Fire Department, arriving before the Magoffin Rescue and other EMS and law enforcement, they found the driver of the pickup.
Looked in the truck, wasn't anything, and looked down under it, seen the body.
Jimmy Stratton with the Kentucky State Police is investigating the crash. He was assisted by Billy Hall, who's also a former Reconstructionist. They spent several hours on the scene trying to determine exactly how the driver, the only occupant of the truck, lost control of his vehicle and wound up underneath the pickup truck, the truck resting as you see here. All they could determine for certain was that he was traveling towards Route 7 on Route 404, dropped off the right side of the shoulder and struck a culvert, and that caused the truck to go out of control, maybe onto its side, and then hit the creek embankment, and at some point ejecting the driver, who was found underneath. As part of the state police investigation, they also spoke with someone who had traveled through this area last night, somewhere between 12:30 and 1 in the morning, and that they confirmed that the garbage, which was believed to have been in the back of the pickup truck, was seen strewn across the road at that time, leading authorities to believe, most certainly without a doubt, that this accident happened sometime around midnight or shortly thereafter, and that it wasn't discovered until this morning when that resident stepped outside. Magoffin County Deputy Coroner Brian Parker pronounced Billy Wagers dead on the scene sometime shortly before 10 o'clock this morning. Wagers' body has been sent to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy per the investigation. It's been a busy past 24 hours or so for local authorities, especially for one, Officer Mitchell with the Paintsville Police Department. Recapping a few arrests, several arrests in Magoffin and Johnson County in the past day or so. Officer Mitchell with the Paintsville Police Department notes that last night around 10 to 11, 28-year-old Kayla Simpkins of Sagersville was behind the wheel of a 2015 Nissan Altima on Highland Avenue in Paintsville when he observed the vehicle fail to signal at an intersection at Broadway and Depot, and after conducting a traffic stop, Simpkins failed to have her license in her possession, and an assisting officer, Officer Runyon, observed a needle sticking out from underneath the subject's leg. There was a Brandon Poe in the vehicle who was also said to be extremely nervous and fidgety. He was in the back seat, a passenger, and was placed under arrest because he had an outstanding warrant in his name. He's also facing additional charges as well that we'll get to in just a second. But Simpkins gave consent to search the vehicle, and police in the back seat found a small clear tube with a dark liquid substance, and when asked what it was, no one knew what it was or would claim that they owned it. Also, in Simpkins' purse, they found several syringes in a bag, which she also denied owning or knowing anything of, and several tubes, which appeared to be the same tubes that contained the substance, were also found in another passenger's pocket, that being a David Chandler. As for Simpkins, she was charged with failing to signal, failing to have her license, failing to produce an insurance card, possession of drug paraphernalia, and a felony charge of possession of a controlled substance in the first degree. As for 32-year-old Brandon Poe of Thealka, Officer Mitchell says that he saw Poe try to stuff something underneath his midsection during the traffic stop, and he also discovered that Poe had an active arrest warrant in his name. And he ordered Poe out of the vehicle, and immediately thereafter Poe became irate, started using profanity, pumped out his chest, became aggressive towards the officer, and refused commands to place his hands behind his back, and even at one point drew his fist back in an attempt to strike the officer. And then Officer Mitchell and Officer Stapleton, who was also on scene, struggled with Poe until Stapleton had to deploy pepper spray to try to get him under control, but he continued to resist until being physically taken to the ground, where he continued to fight and struggle with the officers. After he was cuffed and after a search of the vehicle in the area where he was fidgeting, police discovered a clear container with what contained a dark substance, to which he advised he didn't know what it was or whose it was, that he was just trying to hide it from the police. Poe was actually taken to the Paulby Hall Regional Medical Center, medically cleared, and then taken to the Big Sandy Jail. And for the third passenger, 37-year-old David Chandler of Paintsville, he was charged with possession of a controlled substance in the first degree and possession of drug paraphernalia after authorities found what appeared to be a tube containing a liquid substance dark in color in his pocket. In this case, a man eluded authorities but was caught just a few moments later and charged with resisting, fleeing, and assault and criminal trespassing. 42-year-old Jeremy Jackson of Thelma was facing those charges after Officer Mitchell, again with the Paintsville Police Department, day before yesterday at around 6 o'clock in the evening, got a complaint of a 911 hang-up call on 6th Street. And after arriving at the scene of the complaint, he says that he encountered a female victim outside holding her neck, gasping for air, claiming that Jackson had choked her. The victim also told the officer that Jackson had fled out the back door of the residence, a residence that he was banned from being at, and went up the hill. The officer actually witnessed the subject fleeing up into the hillside and lost him in the wood line after trying to get him to stop on numerous occasions. But just after a short search, about 30 minutes later or so, police got a tip that Jackson was actually inside the Tobacco Plus store on Euclid. And upon arrival, they found him there with dirty shoes, mud stains on his pants, and fresh lacerations that appear to be from the bushes on his upper arms. He stated that he'd been weed eating all day, to which police didn't buy that. And he also resisted and attempted to pull away while being placed in handcuffs, to the point authorities had to restrain him against their patrol car. In this case, it's Officer Mitchell again responding to a complaint, this time yesterday afternoon around 4. 36-year-old Michelle Hale of Redbush was charged after a complaint at the Speedway in Paintsville to some type of an unknown disturbance involving a vehicle that had fled with a man in the bed of the pickup truck screaming for help. The officer notes that when he got there, he made contact with a witness to the situation, and she said that Hale had taken a truck without permission that wasn't hers or not registered to her. Mitchell was later advised that the vehicle had been parked in front of the sheriff's department of all places. One of those witnesses was the owner of the pickup truck, the man who had jumped into the back of the truck into the bed, screaming at Hale to stop as she sped away. The owner saying that he was screaming for fear of his life. Mitchell found Hale in front of the sheriff's office and asked her to get out of the truck, to which she stumbled out and was slow to respond to questions. She failed off-field sobriety test on scene and was placed under arrest and taken to the Paul B. Hall Medical Center and read her rights. She was then taken to the Big Sandy Jail on charges of leaving the scene of an accident without rendering aid, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, failure to own insurance or have insurance on the vehicle she was driving, wanton endangerment in the first degree, and driving under the influence, her second offense. Here in McGoffin County, early this morning around 3:45, Corey Cook with the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department says that he received a call about a man walking on Charles Bailey Road with a flashlight sometime around 3 in the morning. When he arrived there, he says that he found Russell Blaine Craft of Sagersville standing on Burning Fork beside the road, saying that he was waiting for a ride. When the officer questioned who he was, he gave him 2 false names before finally telling him his true identity. Cook says that he found a drug kit with methamphetamine and baggies and some other items, I believe, that he attempted to throw under the officer's cruiser as the officer was stepping out of the vehicle. There was rolling papers, a needle, small baggies, some baggies with meth inside, and other items found. Kraft first tried to tell the officer that he had found the bag beside the road, but later stated that he stole the bag from a known drug dealer, saying that he knew there was meth in the bag and had a meth habit. He was charged with trafficking, first degree, for methamphetamine, public intoxication of drugs, possession of a controlled substance, that being methamphetamine, and tampering with physical evidence and possession of drug paraphernalia. His bond set at $10,000 in cash. And a correction on screen, it does list him as a Prestonsburg resident. Kraft is indeed 18 and from Salyersville. I'll be right back.
Appalachian Wireless says, no contract, no credit check, no monthly bill. Well, no problem. Yes, Appalachian Wireless is at it again and proving why they are the region's best wireless provider by offering new forward pay pricing. A plan where you can bring in your own device and get 5 gigabytes of data for just $39.99 and unlimited data for just $79.99. Pay up front and get the data and features you want. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless. Some restrictions may apply. Activation fee is extra. See store for complete details. Unlimited data slow to 25 gigabytes per month to 512 kilobits for phones and tablets.
To all of her current and future patients, Hope Family Medical Center and Big Sandy Healthcare are proud to announce that pediatrician Dr. Leslie Ann Dotson has joined Big Sandy Healthcare's new Physicians for Women and Families complex in Oxshire, where she's now a part of a team of 3 OBGYNs, 2 family medicine physicians, and their nurse practitioners. That's Physicians for Women and Families, open Monday through Friday at 23 Willow Drive in Auxure, a part of the Big Sandy Healthcare family. Need a family car? Need a work truck? Need something to haul with, maybe to hunt with, or to just get from A to B? Then call John Harris at Gateway Motors in Sagersville on the Mountain Parkway and get pre-approved with no money down and with most payments under $200 a month. Gateway Motors in Sagersville, 349 cars. Just in and just made in Kentucky, Alice Eve bracelets. You'll love the bold colors and the fun beads and charms that make each bracelet a one-of-a-kind, in small to extra large and kid sizes too. And the women's Charlie Page spring and summer line has arrived, filled with perfect basic pieces, colorful, preppy dresses, and bold bohemian looks. Something for everyone to express their individuality. Plus, the full Charlie Page jewelry collection is here. And Easter's getting close, and the seasonal shop has the most adorable mud pie kids selections, and the full women's and children's line is arriving daily, all with some exciting surprises this spring at the seasonal shop. Your best solution for diesel performance, upgrades, service, and repair is also a full-service repair center for all vehicles, gas or diesel, from routine service to major repairs, with a trusted auto body shop for minor dings to full-on restorations and rebuilds. Plus, get all your 4x4 accessories, lights, bumpers, winches, and more at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville, 349-8785.
I'm attorney Don McFarland. We all know that times are hard. Jobs are scarce. Most people that I know are struggling to support their families and make it through each day. Now imagine that you get seriously hurt while working on the job, and the insurance company for your employer refuses to pay wages and benefits while you are injured and cannot afford to pay medical expenses, household bills, and put food on the table to support your family. I can help. If you are being wrongfully denied workers' compensation benefits that you rightfully deserve, then give me a call and let me go to work for you. 349-9000.
Birthday wishes start off tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau Community Calendar. Jason Shepard with a lot of love from Mom, Sis, Fam, and friends. Happy birthday to Jason Shepard today, and I'm just getting warmed up. It's not just Jason Shepard's birthday, but I've got a happy 8th birthday wish going out tonight to Kylie Reisner. And I think I may have spelled it wrong. I've got my paper says L-E-E. I may have goofed Kylie. If I did, I apologize. Regardless, with a whole lot of love from Dad, Shauna, a whole bunch of family and friends, we hope you had the most marvelous of 8th birthdays. Happy, happy, happy birthday. And to Mr. Jeffrey, from your mom and from your sisters and family and friends, that's Jeffrey Boland. Happy, happy birthday to you too. And as far as I know, there's still a lost pet that a lot of little kids are desperately hoping you'll help them find. It's a little black, it's a Shih Tzu, not a Maltese as I've got on the screen. I later learned it was a Shih Tzu. Black with a UK collar. Last seen in the Pleasant Hill area, 859-940-1831. You can collect the reward if you can help them find their pet lost in the Pleasant Hill area. A little black Shih Tzu with blue and white UK collar. This is an announcement about a cancellation or postponement, technically. The Elk Creek Community Free Will Baptist teens were going to have a community teen day this Saturday. Well, the weather, of course, is not cooperating. They've postponed that event for now, but they are promising that they will have it again at a later time when the weather is a little more cooperative. And you've got until the 15th, that's next Thursday, to get your orders in for rootstock and plant orders at the Extension office. That's blueberries and strawberries and red raspberry, black raspberry, asparagus, candy onion. You know the drill. They do it every year. 349-3216. But you got until, once again, next Thursday to get those orders in. Also, a couple of things from the McGoffin County Extension Service there. Shiitake Mushroom Workshop is this Monday at 7, and Patchwork Playdates will meet Tuesday from 10 until noon. And you can meet us here every weeknight at 6 and 11 for the latest calendar announcements or have yours heard and seen by just simply getting them to us. As for local obituaries, it's a service provided by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, and sadly, several families have been devastated just today. We'll begin with a reminder of services to be held for 56-year-old David Wireman of Howard's Branch. He passed away day before yesterday, survived by his wife Sybil and sons Calvin and Jared Scott and daughter Amy Jo Poe. Friends can visit his home this evening, and prior to tomorrow's services at 1, services will be graveside at the family cemetery at Howard's Branch. The McGoffin County Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. I have actually several announcements which are incomplete at this hour, but arrangements being made, first of all, in the honor of Laureen Cheek of Mash Fork, who passed away earlier today, preceded in death by her husband Winfred. Her arrangements are being made, and right now under the care and direction of the Saggersville Funeral Home, but Laureen passing away earlier today. Also arrangements incomplete at this hour for another McGoffin County resident, Norman Fletcher of Sandbottom, passed away earlier today. He's survived by his wife Louise. Services too still being made in his honor at this hour, but to be announced soon also by the Saggersville Funeral Home. And lastly, Billy Ray Jr. Wagers, as I referred to earlier in coverage of the fatal auto accident this morning, passed away earlier today from Sandbottom. He survived by his wife Kelly. Arrangements under the care of the Saggersville Funeral Home. I'll be right back. They're rolling out big, beautiful truck bodies every day, the best America makes in steel and aluminum, with their largest ever local stock of angle, sheet, round, I-beam, expanded, steel, and aluminum in several different finishes for whatever you're working on. And if the dump body you're driving needs parts, they've got them in stock. And if you need a big project fabricated from scratch, they've got you covered at Logan in Salyersville since 1904. The flu has now reached epidemic proportions, and if you aren't or haven't been sick, odds are you will be. And Parkway Pharmacy has exactly what we all need to fight it and any other cold or illness. From immune boosters for adults and children as young as 2 to all-natural homeopathics made right here in the United States of America. They can help prevent you from getting sick or get you fast relief if you already are. With great tasting and easy-taking gummies, powdered mixes, rapid melting fruity tablets, and syrups at Parkway Pharmacy. They call it the Five or the 5 Spot, names for a $5 bill. And now you can add a new one. Best lunch deal ever. Because every weekday during lunch at your Saggersville Lee's Famous Recipe, for a total of $5, that's $5 taxes and all, you can get our famous chicken sandwich or 2 of our famous chicken biscuits with potato wedges and a drink, or our steak sandwich, or 2 steak biscuits with wedges and a drink, or our famous foot-long hot dog with homemade chili, wedges and a drink for $5. That's 5 deliciously awesome deals for only $5. Every weekday from 11 to 2 at your Saggersville Lee's.
Hello, friends and neighbors. I am running for sheriff because I want to work hard to make our streets, schools, and homes safer. I am a certified police officer and a graduate of the Department of Criminal Justice. I will put my training and experience to work for our county, and I will work hand in hand with all other agencies. As a parent and officer, I know our kids are the most important resource, and I will do my very best to protect them and continue to tackle our drug problem. But I need your help. Please vote and elect Michael Nichols for sheriff, number 4 on the ballot. Thank you, and God bless.
I can recall some time back, and it's been a while, word kind of getting out that Sunday Best was breaking up, but it didn't happen. They've been touring, they've been doing shows ever since. However, now an official announcement from at least one member of the group from Prestonsburg, of course, who hit major airwaves with Home and continued to entertain us right on. It may be the last we hear of the local country music hit duo together, but not the last we'll hear from them, certainly. Best known for Home and so many other great songs that we've got to see them firsthand shoot some music videos that we've got to be a part of and kind of sit on the sidelines and bring you some video and speak with them on numerous occasions. But sadly, they have announced today that they are no more. For the last 8 years, been 8 years now they've been playing together. Nick Jamerson saying in a post earlier that he'd been very fortunate enough to play in a band that's been so loved and supported in ways that he never imagined were possible. He said through his life with Sundy Best, he's seen more of this world, met so many people, and felt so much love. And he's so thankful for Chris and all the kinfolk out there who have made their dream a reality. He says he's going to continue to write, record, and perform the music that he so loves, as he feels like it's a gift from God to be able to do such a thing. We know that Jamerson says he's going to keep touring. We also know that he's going to be a part of the Jamersons, playing with his two brothers and sister, he says, that all write and sing just as well, if not better, than he. As for Chris, we'll still wait and see. But Sunday Best together is not something you're going to see anymore. But man, what a show they put on. All right, lastly, real quick, more winter weather rolls right on through the neighborhood. Tonight, 25, winds out of the west, 6 to 8, partly cloudy skies. Snow is decreasing. It's been blustery at times today. In a few places in eastern Kentucky, we're seeing some near whiteout conditions, definitely in those upper elevations. We're going to see the snow continue to roll out on the forecast, and in fact, for your Friday, increasing clouds tomorrow after some gradually clearing skies late tonight. We'll see clouds roll back in tomorrow, and then we'll see precipitation roll back in late tomorrow night. Right now, scattered rain and snow showers before 10, then snow showers likely after 10 o'clock on your Friday. We should see 43 during the day tomorrow. By nighttime lows, we're going to be right around that freezing mark at 32, so it's going to be hard to call, but right now 1 to 3 inches possible. I'm leaning closer to the 1-inch category, but still certainly in the realm of possibility. That's real scientific terminology I'm throwing at you there. So a little accumulating snow to fall on your Saturday, which of course won't result in any snow days for any of the students. 48 for your Saturday. A chance of rain and snow before 10. It's going to warm up to 48, so the moisture that's going to still be around, and I believe it will be wet. 34 for the nighttime lows Saturday night, and a continued chance of rain into your Sunday. And don't forget, we roll those clocks forward Saturday night, Sunday morning. And we'll roll right on with the precipitation Sunday, too. Yeah, 50% chance of rain Sunday, maybe changing over to snow Sunday night. Mid to upper 40s for the highs, mid to upper 20s for lows Sunday. Almost ditto for your Monday, 44 for your high, 25 for your low. We will see a chance of rain and snow early Monday. Precipitation pulls out by midday, early afternoon, or evening, and then we'll see a little run of some dry weather. Tuesday of next week, mostly sunny, 42, upper 40s, and still sunny and clear on Wednesday as well. I was set to begin my morning today putting together a story for tonight's show on the ongoing efforts and what's been done thus far and what is planned by the school district and schools together in regards to keeping our students safe. But of course, the story that broke in regards to that fatal auto accident just simply changed our schedule for today. I hope to work on that for you tomorrow, as there is indeed a lot happening, and almost all of which, if not more than what I've mentioned, certainly you can find in today's edition of the Sagersville Independent, as well as a lot of other neat and interesting stories throughout as well, some history and a lot of other things to look back upon in today's edition. So be sure and pick one up. With that said, we will have news that you're only going to see here when we see you back here wrapping up this week on tomorrow night's edition of Your News Today. Good night, stay warm, and thanks for watching.